That's good enough for me. So I've played around a little bit, and I think I found a solution that'll work quite well. So we start off with the front board. In the back, we'll have 2 long screws that'll go all the way into the beam. But for the rest of it, it'll just have shorter screws, which are just long enough to go through 2 boards by themselves. Now, where a board ends, I take one of the boards that like too messed up, like the tongue and groove's too messed up to really do anything with, and I cut it into small little screw panels, and those go down a bit and behind, so I can have 1, 2, 3 screws. And so not only does it screw this board to the next one, but it also screws it to the bottom row, so each row is connected. So hopefully that can add some strength. And then of course the next one will go on there and have a screw through it. I tried having like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, but honestly it seemed like it was too much, because once I have these boards together, they actually seem quite strong. So I think it'd be a bit wasteful to have too many screws. However, at every single beam, I do have 2 very long screws going in. So, well, also because I have in a certain orientation 1, 2, so then I can see that's where the beams are, because eventually I will have to go back through and probably mount something to it. And so what I'll do is I will just have very long screws or bolts going right through the beam, or right through the boards into the beams, and I won't have to remove these for mounting things or anything. Now as for this, I have this blown cellulose insulation, which if I go slow enough, it actually doesn't kick much stuff up into the air, which is really nice. And so I just fill these with that, and sometimes there's some chunks because this is recycled insulation. I just kind of break those up. But it should be that this much insulation, which is like 5 inches of, actually more than 5 inches of insulation, should give me like an R value of 15 or more. Let's just say that this stuff is old and it only gives like 2.5 per inch, 2.5 R per inch. That's still like R12 for the whole thing, which is not bad for free insulation which has been recycled. Now if I'm not mistaken, if I had 12 feet of this, then it would just settle and come back in the bottom, not be very insulative. And the top, it would all settle, and so it would just be air, and once again, not very insulative, whatever the word is. So having a board up here should help separate them So also it'll separate moisture, because if water gets in through up here, hopefully it'll help stop water from moving from sector to sector. But most of all, if there's any compression in the insulation, it'll be compressing from here down, not from the roof down. And so each piece might have a few inches of an air gap, because of course there'll be a wall going up and another one here. But that's a lot better than having like a foot of air gap on the top and then everything too compressed to the bottom to insulate very well. And keep in mind that as I'm moving up, I'm also going on the outside and sealing all the holes and finishing up all the screws. So the wall, anywhere I put this, it's finished, so don't worry. Oh no. And there we have 6 little squares. Finally, something interesting to film. Look at that. Over here, there's a bit of a gap. So I had a piece that would fit this. Oh, it's the same height. Never mind. Well, either way, this is one of these pieces that's been already cut down, so might as well use that. So that fits the end. And then, but now we have like a very small gap on the top. I don't know. You know, I'm lazy. We'll go with it. You know what? No, let's make a little piece for that. Now that was a cut. Oh. Now that does not need a screw in it, that's for sure. That's not going out anywhere. Cutting some of this firewood that I have, little blocks. Oh, this has nothing to do with the workshop. I'm just messing with wood. That was like perfectly lined up. That is awesome. And it's even up a little bit, which is good because I'm not sure how the boards will interact with this, because this goes up a little bit, but I like when everything's just kind of fit together. So now that wall is going to extend over to there. I just realized I did this one backwards. Oh well. I did not feel like filming anymore, so I didn't. And I got it done. And I'm very happy with this. Very happy indeed. And to get the insulation up there, I built this shelf, which worked out pretty well. It's just a 2x12 with these boards with it. And I can easily remove it and adjust it. So these are pretty much full of insulation, but still a few, actually quite a big amount of space to fill. I'll get that some other time. And also there's one more layer of wood to go, the black top layer, but I'm going to cut through these pieces or cut through the border. I'm going to make it nice because I'm also going to have a piece of wood on the top. It's going to be like a shelf, probably coming out to here. And so I'll have a nice shelf to put books on or whatever. I'm still not sure. I'm fairly sure that no sunlight's going to get in through here. Direct sunlight at least. And I do believe that this does stop ultraviolet rays. We'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. One last thing to do is to get the rest of the insulation for the next wall. So this insulation has been sitting outside for about a month with 2 tarps over it, and it's definitely gotten flatter. It doesn't feel quite wet, but it is harder on the surface. So I think what happened was, over the past month and a half, it slowly settled and really caked together. When I break it apart, it seems to still be fairly fluffy. But I might want to use like a shop vac or something like that to, I don't know, like fluff it up a bit. Oh, got some watery stuff there. Well, that's nice. You can easily tell what's wet. Done. That wasn't so bad. It took about 2 hours to do. So I'm very happy with how that turned out. I love the wall and I love the wood. I kind of wish it would have been more uniform and not so cobbled together looking, but it has a certain style to it. And I have the insulation all bagged for the next wall, which will be back here, but I am not in the mood to immediately jump into doing this wall. So I actually have to repair that door, which I plan to put on this wall down there. So that'll give me like a week or two of stepping away from walling and insulation so I don't get so fed up that I just throw it all away. And there's some other stuff I gotta do. I'm not sure. Oh, I know. I just found a bunch of sheet metal in a dumpster, and so that will be the sheet metal I needed for the corners of my building. I told you guys I would find it. I don't have to buy it. I just have to wait long enough and I'll find roofing metal or siding, whatever it is. I think it's roofing because it's the long stuff. And so that'll be probably another video of sealing up the corners of the building. But I'm very happy that I did this first and I sealed up the corners from the inside. That way I already have a whole wall done by the time I found the metal for the corners. Well, I'm going to go take a very long nap and probably a shower because, yeah, I am thankful that this is cellulose and not asbestos. Very thankful because, wow, I wasn't wearing a mask because I wasn't quite to the point of having black boogers yet, but that was because I was outside. If I did that inside, I would have had black boogers. That's why I started wearing the mask, because I started getting black boogers from that. It's just like, you start blowing up like fibers and stuff. I was like, that might be a time to wear a mask, but I probably should have worn a mask through all this. Oh well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya.